Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the first ever episode of our new podcast called the First Off the Tee podcast, hosted by myself, Robert Ivanek, and co-hosted by
Father Bobby Vanek.
So this is our first ever attempt at hosting a podcast. It's going to be a golf-focused podcast / YouTube video where we talk about anything in the world of golf, ranging from a PGA recap from the tournament that just finished on Sunday, any sort of golf teachings or lessons that we've learned throughout reading books, and just general golf talk through our life playing golf. Doug, welcome.
Well, thanks for inviting me and letting me join as co-host. I thought I was going to be a guest and you asked me co-host. I love it. So I like the fact that you talked about our life experience in golf, because that's really what it is. Because I'm not a professional. I'm an amateur golfer that loves to play, and I was calculating you're 25-ish and I'm 26-ish, and 10 years before that, so probably about 35 years of playing golf, and I'm just your average hacker. But love the game.
I think that's part of the novelty of the whole YouTube channel in general. Is we're not professionals, we're just two guys who really enjoy the game, and that's it. So couple cool things about this podcast. So first off the tee, where does the name come from? So right now it's 5:30 in the morning, Monday morning, and this is the time that we will host a podcast every week. So we're first off the tee, first thing Monday morning, 5:30 every week. We will host a podcast. We have a timer going here. The podcast will last 18 minutes long. About a minute later, a play on there being 18 holes in golf. So just a quick podcast video weekly, and we'll see if we get used to this and we enjoy it. Maybe we start doing 2 times a week, Mondays and Thursdays.
Yep.
But anyway, let's get started with the PGA recap.
Well,
so go ahead.
Can I just stop you for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
Before I do anything early morning off the tee, I need my cup of joe. So
go ahead. Let's press it.
I'm gonna use our French press, get this thing rolling. Not that this has to stop your introduction, but just if you guys see me working this, I need my cup of coffee before I start anything.
So how about Jon Rahm this weekend, Doug?
Jon Rahm, I don't know if I could speak for you, but I keep, everybody's talking up big about Jon Rahm. I kind of like him, and good for him winning this weekend. And what I heard from, I didn't get to watch the whole tournament, but I heard that he's #1 in the world now by winning this. I guess with his FedEx points and how consistent he's been, he obviously made it to #1. I think there's got to be a little asterisk in that #1, because I like Jon Rahm, but the asterisk that I'm looking at, and here's your joke too if you want.
Thanks, Doug.
Is with the COVID and the change of all of the tournaments, we really haven't had many majors to play. And #1, he's consistent, but no majors, So I'd like to see him. Not that I'm talk anybody down, and who am I to critique anybody in golf?
Right.
But I'm just looking at it. So good for him. And hey, he hits the ball great.
He's always been up top. I haven't seen him in the winning column. I mean, I don't know the last time I remember seeing him win a tournament, but it is good to see him get the win. The course, where did they play? It was the Memorial Tournament.
Yeah, Dublin, Ohio. Dublin, Ohio, which is Jack Nicklaus's course.
That course was tough. I mean, these guys weren't scoring well. I mean, even at one point, it looked like Jon Rahm had like a 7-stroke lead, with like a couple holes to go, and he starts falling behind. And I was like, he finished the round 4 with a +3.
Wow.
He ended up winning by 3 strokes, but these guys weren't coming in with great scores. I mean, not often were they even under par.
No, well, I mean, I know yesterday was just windy. They actually had a storm break with lightning because a front came through. So between the wind and how hard the greens were, and it was tough to score.
How about Tiger? Did you watch Tiger? This was his first time back since...
Tiger was back, and if you know anything about our household, I'm not a huge Tiger fan, but I'm not going to say I would never take anything away from all of his accomplishments. And I'll tell you the reason why I'm not a big Tiger fan. And you've been a big Tiger fan, anti-me, but rightfully so. Why? How could you not be a Tiger fan? I'm not a Tiger fan because I was a Phil Mickelson fan, still am, and of course through Tiger rising and being on top for 10 years, he used to just slap Mickelson down most of the time, and I hated him for that. But it was good. He didn't play well, but he hasn't played in a while, and it's tough out there.
Tony Finau came into Sunday with, was he in the lead, or at least he was close to it, and he shot a +6 yesterday. The course was
brutal.
On multiple days. It wasn't just yesterday. Even on Thursday, they came in with some tough scores.
Yeah.
Anyway, like you said, I did pull this up. Jon Rahm claims world #1 ranking.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine he took over McIlroy.
I think it was McIlroy, yeah.
Good for him. Good for John.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, it's the consistency. He's been there. Look, and they're all talking about him. He's got everything going for him, and he's pretty calm too. I like he's a pretty calm guy out there. But
did you see what happened to Bryson?
I heard something, but I do not know anything that happened to Bryson.
I'll show you this clip. But so he shot a 10 on on one of the holes, and I don't know if you saw in the Rocket Mortgage Classic a couple weeks ago when he had won.
Mm-hmm.
He had a poor bunker shot, and the cameraman was focused right in on him, and he freaked out. And he had some choice words for the cameraman, and the PGA saying, you guys need to be protecting your players and their brand. Well, here we are at the Memorial Tournament. He does the same thing. He starts to freak out, and the caddy actually approached the cameraman and just walked right in front of the camera to block the footage so that they couldn't get Bryson freaking out. And this article was really funny. And it goes, I'm just going to read one line. He goes, the more this happens, the more apparent it is why Bryson needs the networks, the rules officials, and his caddy, and everyone else to look out for his brand and image, because they say he's not capable of doing it.
So obviously there's some audio with this,
yeah, they just have the camera on him, and he shot a 10. He was out of bounds twice. He was arguing with the rules official about what is considered a fence. I mean, it was a fence. It was just a black metal fence, and he was arguing what is considered a fence because for whatever it was with the ruling.
Right. Oh man.
But Bryson, man. He didn't play well. He did not play well this weekend.
Well, Bryson. We both like Bryson, right?
Oh, yeah.
From just his uniqueness, the perspective of the way he approaches golf. I mean, we sometimes when we're looking at a putt and it's pretty close, and you take that break out of it, we're like, yeah, man, DeChambeau, that putt, just pound it and go through that break and hit that pin.
Use the pin as a backboard.
Leaving the pin as a backboard, right? We saw that one little skit that he did on the Golf Channel or something, talking about how he putts, and he goes, should you or should you not leave the pin in? Well, with the COVID rules today, we leave the pin in, but we've been doing it since the rule came about.
As
right?
of last year, as soon as PGA made it an official rule that you can leave the pin in, we heard Bryson say it was like mathematically it makes sense.
Yeah.
It only makes sense to keep the pin in. It can only improve your chances of making the putt, so we left it.
Yeah, the advantages of hitting it too hard from a short distance but on target, you'll chances are 9 out of 10, whatever the percentages are, that the pin's going to help you rather than hurt.
Right. So I want to move on.
Sure.
It's a quick podcast.
Yeah.
We only have 8 minutes left. The 18 minutes roll.
Wow.
So I want to talk about something that I find very prevalent in golf every time I play, and it's about putting.
Mm.
The way you taught me is the ball goes in the hole. You putt everything. There's no gimmies, there's no pickups, because I've seen pros miss 2-footers, 1-footers all the time. So when I'm out on the course and I'm playing with new people, with friends, with just randoms that I get paired up with,
Mm-hmm.
it seems like across the board, everybody picks up putts. They just pick the putt up and say, oh yeah, I would have made that in. And they do it, they give it to themselves. It's not even like they're in competition and whoever they're playing says, hey, yeah, that's good, you get to pick it up. It is across the board, people just pick up putts.
It is amazing. I don't know how it got started and why people do it. To me, like you said, the name of the game is the ball goes in the hole. The person who taught me says, that ball goes in the hole. That's why I shot a 128 the first time I went out.
Yeah.
Right? And you can only judge yourself by finishing that putt, it goes in. I missed those 1.5 footers, and so, for instance, the guy gave me a putt on Friday. I'm like, I don't take putts. I put them in, and and after that first one, they'll never do it again.
Yeah.
And you kind of set that rule with them politely. I say, hey, you know what, it's the way I roll.
I find you're only hurting yourself when you start to pick up putts.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you get used to not having to make those putts. You think that, if it's close, you're gonna make it. Then let's say you're playing somebody for money. Now it has to go in, and you're not used to making those 1-2 footers.
Mm-hmm.
And then even if you just miss one of them, mentally it's gonna throw you off. You're like, I always hit those. Well, not really, because you don't really always putt them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I brought this book out real quick. This is Harvey Penick's Little Red Book. Highly, highly recommended golf book. One of our favorites.
Love it.
Just filled with so many great tips. And I want to read this really quick. There's one chapter called Hold Them All. And it really talks about exactly what we see right here. Anyway, 2 proud parents came to me at the club and announced that their young son just had scored his first birdie. I agreed that was a wonderful event, and I asked them how long the putt was that Junior made for the birdie. The parents said the putt was only 2 feet long, so they gave Junior a gimme to assure his first birdie. I've got bad news for you, I said. Junior still has not made his first birdie. Not only did Junior not sink the birdie putt, but it is now planted in his mind that he can pick up the ball 2 feet from the hole and pronounce the putt as made, not having to face the moment of truth. When Junior reaches a high level of play where there are no gimmies, he may develop anxiety about short putts that will bother him for the rest of his life. My rule is that a youngster, no matter how small, should be required to hole every putt. If Junior grows up knowing he has to make all of the short ones, that'll automatically become a part of his game. When he plays at a higher level and faces 2-footers to win an important match, he'll be ready. I think Harvey hits the nail on the head right there.
Absolutely, and what his Little Red Book was when he was taking all of his notes and then finally produced it in I forget what year, but he was way back in 40s, 30s, wherever he was. I just don't know that much about Harvey's time frame.
Right.
But you gave this to me for Father's Day, and what a book! I love it, and it's helped me tremendously at my last month.
Shout out Bob Delicava. He's the one that recommended me that book.
Yes.
Bob, thanks for the recommendation. The book has seriously changed the way I approach golf. I think you could say the same.
Oh, without a doubt.
Perfect. Okay, we only have 4 minutes left on the first ever episode of the First Off the Tee podcast. I think it'd be fun to just finish these podcasts with, are you playing golf this week, or did you play last week, and how'd it go?
So, as you touched on it before, I read Harvey Penick's book, and he talks about getting into this Zen moment and really enjoying golf for what it's worth, not only the competition, but he's like, for 4 hours you can get into this zone. So, 1 week or 2 weeks after I read the book, I go out and I shoot my best round ever. I'm not a great golfer. I broke 90, shot an 87. A legit 87. I came home so proud. Just this last Friday, I took off from work, went away, but I played golf on Friday morning. I shot my best ever round again I was so focused and so in the moment for each individual shot. I was writing my score down, but I wasn't adding it up. I wasn't even contemplating what I was shooting. I just knew I was shooting pretty good. Shot an 83, dude.
Wow.
83 legit.
Now, when you say legit, no gimmies, no pickups, no foot wedges, no pick, clean, and replace, no roll it out of the divot because it rolled in.
Exactly, all that. What? Play it like as it lies,
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
if you get stuck in a divot, you're stuck in a divot, dude.
That's great.
If you're let's call it PGA rules. If you're gonna play golf, you play PGA rules, and I know Harvey has a section in there about some guests coming in, and their scores, not PGA rules. So what about you? Well, for me, I'm not planning on playing this week as of yet, but you never know what happens.
I have 2 tee times this week, Tuesday and Thursday, both at Pinchbrook just after work.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
I find after work is great. At Pinchbrook, you scurry over there, even if you get 12, 13 holes in, for $19, you can't beat it.
Yeah.
I'm playing Tuesday with Brendan Rudolph and Thursday with Pat Sweeney from The Office. I'm really so I have a goal for this year in golf. My goal is to score 18 points. So real quickly for the viewers, our scoring method is 3 points for a birdie, 2 points for a par, and 1 point for a bogey, and that's all we count. We don't count anything less than that.
What about eagle?
Eagle's 4.5.
4.5.
Eagle's 4.5 because if you do score an eagle and end up tying with somebody, you do deserve that edge to win that match. But anyway, my goal is to score 18 points in 18 holes. That's bogey golf. That's what I want to. That's what I want to score. To this day, the most I've scored is 15. So I'm right there. I'm so close, but I'm thinking, thinking about Harvey Pennick's idea, take dead aim. He has this section, take dead aim, where he wants you to pick a specific spot and aim for that exact spot because he says your body will naturally make it happen. Well, I go out there every time and I just try and score as many points as I can. I want to take dead aim to say, I'm scoring 18 points this round.
Good.
I am going to score 18 points and see if I can actually do it. And mentally, from the jump, every stroke matters. Every hole matters. And can you come home with 18 points?
Yeah.
Something I'm going to work on. I'm not going to be able to play 18 this week, but something I'm working towards, and hopefully 1 point before the season is over, I can say that I scored 18 points.
Hey, sounds like we might be done.
I think we're done here. And stop there. Doug, thanks for cheers. Thanks for co-hosting the first ever episode of the First Off the Tee podcast.
Excellent.
That was quick. 18 minutes goes faster than you think. Guys, thanks for stopping in. If you enjoyed it, please leave a comment down below. Let us know what you'd like to hear us talk about next week's episode on Monday morning at 5:30. Take care, guys. Have a good week.
Nice.
Enjoy.